So today I'm going to be showing you one of the first steps to leash training, which is directional cues or directional changes, which is basically just showing your dog what way you're going to be turning on a walk, just kind of showing them that you're going to be choosing where you're going and make it a lot easier for you when you take your dogs out for walks. I did briefly touch on this in my obedience training video on the 30-minute stay, but this video is going to be going more in depth and showing you with a harness, with a leash, and with a slip lead, just so you can see that you can use this with whatever you feel most comfortable with when you go out on a walk. I'm going to be using little Stella buns, this little boober, for this exercise because she is not the greatest on leash. She's 8 years old, so she does have some bad habits ingrained in her that we've been working on. She's only ever done this exercise once, and that was in that other video that I was talking about, the 30-minute stay. I'm going to be using her so you can see what it looks like on a dog that is not proficient in walking. There's definitely no truth to the saying you can't teach an old dog new tricks, because I have taught Stella so many different things already. She definitely has a ways to go, and I have worked with a lot of older dogs. They can learn anything under the sun. They just might be a little more stubborn. It might take a lot more time and patience. But as long as you're willing to put in the effort, you can train any dog, anything. Well, that's enough of that, so I'm just gonna start showing you. Let's jump in the video. So there are a lot of dog products on the market that are used for walking your dog on leash. Obviously, the most common is a leash and collar. Second most popular would be leash and harness. And what I think really encourages the dog to listen to you best is a slip lead, which I'll put a link down below in the description. And then a kind of controversial one is the prong collar. Now, personally, I'm not 100% against it, but it's never my first choice. It's really if you have a dog that's super stubborn and won't listen to you when using the other three products. And I'm just going to show you how to properly use each one of them so that you're, one, not choking your dog, and two, not inflicting pain on them. The prong collar, the standard collar and leash, or the slip lead, you're going to be using the same method for all three of those. And I'll show you what that looks like on Stella right now. So when you put the slip lead on, or collar or prong collar, you're going to want to make sure it's right under the chin, right here, and right behind the ears. The reason that you want it right under the chin is that if you were to put pressure right here, you can still take deep breaths, and it's really just pressure and that's it. But as you go down, it starts to hurt and cut off air and blood. And the further down you go, the more painful and the more it cuts it off. So when you have it on your dog, you really want to keep it right up here. It's because you don't want them to be in pain and you don't want to be restricting the airflow. So there are two types of directional changes. I'm going to show you with Kingston first, since he already knows them, and then I'll show you how I teach Stella. So the first one is going to be pulling away from them, which is you'll have your leash go directly across your body and then literally just pull away from them. And then the second one is going to be pushing into them. Well, you'll pull the leash straight up and literally push into them. Now I'm going to show you how you can do the exact same thing with various colors and a harness. I use Kingston again for this demonstration, more so because I like his harness better than Stella's, because his has not only a back clip but also a front clip, so I can show you what both those do. For the back clip, it's going to be a lot of the same. When you're pulling away from them, it's just going to be again across your body, straight up, and push into them. And then for the front clip, It's actually, the front clip is really good for dogs who don't do very well in leash and you're really trying to get them out of that pulling, because it just sets them really off balance. They can't control as well there. So when you have a dog that pulls all the time, you can pull almost in any direction from the front and get them out of their stance, which is really nice. So if you have a very strong dog that's really hard to control from pulling, Kingston's pretty easy, but the front clip is awesome for that. Now I'm just going to show you how to properly put on all the collars, because really the collars are all the same as far as positioning. It's up here. You're going to be doing the same technique, pulling straight up when you're pushing into them and pulling across your body when you're pulling away from them. For a standard collar, you're going to want to make sure it sits right at the top, like I said before, and that the clip that you clip your leash onto is right at the top, so that when you're pulling and doing the directional changes, it's right there. If you have a collar like this, this is the cloth pinch collar that I'm talking about. Has that little separate part right here that when you pull, it just kind of pinches. You're going to want to make sure it kind of goes snugly over their head, so that way it sits more at top. And once again, you want the clip at the top of their head, and that way you can just pull right here. With a pinch collar, slip it right on. And the reason I don't really care for these, because they really tend to go to the bottom. People use them as actual collars, which you should never leave this or a prong collar on other than when walking. So, but when you're using it, once again, at the top of the head, clipping straight up, pulling that way. And then for the prong collar, put it around the neck, through the hole, clip, and again at the top of the neck, pulling straight up. That's the only place that's not going to choke them. And especially these metal ones, 110% don't use them as regular collars that stay on when you're not home. They are a walking aid only, and only if you can't get them to walk properly by using the other methods. Personally, I mean, you can tell my dogs don't have any of their collars on. When we're in the home and there's no possible way of escape, I don't like leaving collars on, because they can get caught in each other. If they're playing when we're not home, one of the dog's jaws could get stuck underneath, and then I'm not there to fix that. I don't like having collars on dogs when you're not home at all. People still do it. I understand in case they get out. Personally, no matter what, even if it's the cloth collar, I still really don't like having collars on my dog at all when I'm not home. So now I'm going to be showing you how I teach Stella. I'm not going to give her any commands. I'm just going to do those exact same techniques I did with Kingston. With Stella, she will resist because this is only the second time she's doing this, but over time she'll start to listen to my body cues. Okay. And now you can see that she's no longer resisting me, so we can go ahead and try this outside. You're going to want to do this 4 or 5 times, doing it 1 time a day, or until they follow your lead right from the start. and then we're gonna move outside. So we're gonna actually be doing the same thing, but also adding in speed changes. This is really gonna make them focus on what you're doing, wanting to keep up with you, and really focus on what your next move is. Once you're outside, you're going to have a lot more distractions, so your dog is going to resist you. Practice this until they are more loose on their leash. Then you can start going on normal walks. If you ever feel them resisting or pulling, just stop and practice this again. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or anything you want me to expand on, please just leave a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. And please hit subscribe if you want to see any more tips, tricks, and techniques so that you can have a happy, well-behaved dog. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. And please hit subscribe if you want to see more tips, tricks, show you step by step. Why are you whining? Why are you whining, little bun? Because you want to go out to the park later? We'll go to the park later, okay? Just let me finish the intro. Yeah? It's going to take 2 seconds, I promise. You guys are so cute. Yes, you are. I love you. So I'm going to be working on this with Stella, because Stella is not Kingston. You're ruining all my takes. You're making it last longer every time you whine. Oh my goodness, little bun. So there are 2 types of directional changes. The first is going to be turning Kingston. Okay. So now I'm going to be showing how I teach Stella. I'm not going to be giving any commands. I don't care. Okay. You just talk to me now.
Sorry.
And subscribe if you want to see more tips, tricks, and who knows? What else? I don't know. Tips, tricks. I feel like there should be a third thing. If you want to see any more tips, tricks, and techniques, there we go. Please subscribe if you want to see any more tips, tricks, and techniques for having a happy, well-behaved dog. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.